finally getting around to taking the scrap metal down. Not as early as I was hoping. Cash in all this. I got a box of cans as well, which I thought I'd do now rather than waiting till it all built up, because then I'll get probably too much in one go. And I'll get the dog food, then come back. And by the time I come back, probably a good time, take the boys out for a walk, and then maybe get some stuff done on the fence during the afternoon. Pretty busy here down at the scrapyard. The offload spot is further around. You can't just chuck it out here on the back. Sitting here and looking at the stuff that they kind of sort some stuff and bring it around. Several bikes, some whippersnippers and lawnmowers that have just been thrown out in full. There's a nice little stack of TVs right next to me. I see a lot of bikes, but some of these bikes look in pretty good condition. Better condition than mine at home. Mine are getting a bit rusty. I would think as a company, because they take their stuff from here, I think over to Sims Metals in St Mary's, don't have it, because that's the place that'll smelt it. They'll sort stuff here as well and take it over there in sorted trucks. I reckon if you pulled all those bikes out and fiddle around with them a little bit, you'd be able to fix them up to either sell for something or donate to people. Like people with kids. 8 bikes just here. Another slow move forward. The truck in front of me is a tipper, so he's got to get all the way around to the other side so he can just sort of back in and tip it all out. And the 2 trucks ahead of him, they've already offloaded it down here at the side. So, which is what I planned on doing, because you're allowed to dump into this bit because the big excavator can drag stuff across. I actually don't think I've got a hell of a lot of steel this time. The price on their sign said $250 a tonne, 25 cents a kilo. Now I've dumped stuff when it was like 9 cents a kilo. To go up to 25 cents is pretty good. So for the little bit of steel I've got, I might get a couple of dollars.
Give him a bit of room, he might have to back up.
Yeah.
So you can go up a little bit because he's going to go right where that yellow forklift is somewhere there.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
That's that job done. $56 all up. The steel, just those bags of steel cans, $7.50. So that was worth it. And everything else, I'm glad I separated it all out. And they separated it out even more for me because I had, well, my copper cable with no plugs on it. I had a kilo of that, $3.70. Brass, I just had in one bucket, and they class clean brass and dirty brass. Now dirty brass is anything that's still got its like other attachments to it. So like the brass that I still had a gauge on and the water heater outlet valve, they were classed as dirty brass. So that was like coast brass, 1 kilo, $4.65. The other little pieces they call honey brass, 1 kilo, $6.90. I had some non-magnetic stainless steel, and there was 2 kilos of that, and that came to $2.20, $1.10 a kilo. A couple of electric motors, and it said high-grade electric motors because I'd stripped everything else off them. And there was 7 kilos in that, but it was at like 70 cents a kilo. So $4.90. Copper, domestic. So basically old copper pipe and that sort of stuff. And that was $9 for 1 kilo. The old battery from the truck, got $9.90 for that. Aluminium, because it was just all mixed, they just called it domestic aluminium. 5 kilos at $1.45, so $7.25. I didn't think it was worth separating that stuff out because there were still bits stuck to things, like all the cast aluminium still had little bits I couldn't get off them. I didn't have enough extruded aluminium really to make it warrant it. Yeah, $56 is not bad for just getting junk out of your shed and out of your yard. 30 kilos of just steel, which was a little bit of like scraps that I had in a bin, just offcuts and bits and pieces that I had lying around that I just chucked into a little bin. And bags of steel cans, like from the kitchen. Instead of just chucking them in our regular recycling, I was chucking them into another bin, and when the bin was full, I'd have a bag in it, tie the bag up, put it in my big bin up front. And my big bin got full to the very top, and that's when I went, well, time to take it. And the majority of that 30 kilos was cans from the kitchen. I think that was worth doing. I didn't spend as much time crushing those cans now, because I used to really try and flatten them out. And now I just squeeze them down a bit so they fit a little bit more in the bin rather than just a full can. Definitely worth it, definitely worth it. They had the giant excavator filling up one of the trucks to go off to Sims. The way he was handling that machine was so impressive. The truck that I said was the tipper truck with all the steel in it, it just was sheet steel, like old sheet iron for roofs. And they were going to try and tip it out. And then the guys in the excavator said, does the side of your truck come down? He goes, yeah. So they took the side down, and he reached in with the hook with his claw and just picked the stuff up out of the back of the truck and put it straight into the truck for Sims Metals. And just watching the finesse of such a giant machine was so impressive. I think the return and earn's better for aluminium cans and bottles because it's 10 cents for each thing. So I know I've got $3 in here. Swap seats today. I guess we're here. Batman, stop. Today, in one sense, feels like such a wasted day. Got rid of all my scrap steel and brass and copper. Yada, yada, yada. Cashed in my cans. Filled up the truck because it was down to empty. Grabbed something to eat. Bought the dog food. Stopped at the pharmacy to buy some stuff. In all, it took a bit over 3.5 hours to do all that. Super busy down at the scrapyard. Don't even know how long I was there. It took forever. Got a good price for it all though, but it took forever. And then bring the boys out. 2 more panels in. I've just done the concrete on these 2 posts. You can see how far this has had to step down with the slope. I think it's going to continue doing that. So this is a real pain. I've had to actually shape the bottoms a little bit. I just take a couple there so that I can bring this down without digging into the ground too far there. Same here, because eventually there'll be garden in front of it and you won't see anything anyway, but the top is nicely stepped.